UFC 304, Edwards versus Muhammad, underdog of the card. If you're not familiar on how this works, I look at the entire 14-fight pay-per-view and find which underdog is the best bet you could possibly make, the most value, the most bang for your buck on any of the underdogs here. If you're wondering who of the underdogs I actually have winning, I do have Manel Kape winning his fight. I have Marcin Prachnio winning his fight. I do have Gregory Rodriguez winning his fight and Paddy Pimblett winning their fights, all as underdogs of their fights this weekend. But that's not saying that any one of them is going to be my underdog of the card, because there could be someone else that is a little bit more valuable when it comes to betting on them. Maybe Bilal, maybe someone else. You'll just have to watch this entire video. And of course, if you want all my bets for this UFC pay-per-view, it's only, I think it's like $1 a week. So literally you could get all of my bets for this entire card for $1. The next card, another $1. The next card, another $1. You get $1 for a full card of bets. That's a crazy deal. But let's get into it. Let's start with the bottom fight right here in Shanna Bannon and Elise Ardeline. Is this going to be my underdog of the card? I'll say it right now. No. First off, Elise Ardeline started at plus 250. On the betting odds. Maybe then I would be like considering Elise Ardeline in the conversation of underdog of the card, but her odds are atrocious now. Plus 150 is horrible value on Elise Ardeline as the underdog right there. I just don't think that'd be a good bet. I mean, you lost all of the value already when she started at plus 250. So no, I'm unequivocal about this. Elise Ardeline is not my underdog of the card. First off, she's taking it on short notice. She's not actually focused on MMA and Shauna's home area. She's the girl everyone's going to be rooting for. The judges might have some bias against Elise Ardeline and things like that. So no, we'll start it off there. Elise will not be my underdog of the card. Mick Parkin and Lucas Brzezinski. If you watched my confident picks video, Mick Parkin is #1 most confident. So that alone should tell you Lucas Brzezinski is not going to be my underdog of the card. Again, you got to stay up to date on all of the videos I make, because I'm very confident on Mick Parkin winning. I think I had him at around 80% confidence to beat Lucas Brzezinski, and the odds you're getting Lucas Brzezinski at are not that good. I mean, plus 275 is okay, I guess, but you lost. Or you actually are gaining more and more value every single day, so these odds actually make a lot of sense. But no, there's not a lot of value on Lucas Brzezinski, because I feel just so good on Mick Parkin actually going out there and getting the win. So 2 fights in, I'm not really feeling any of the underdogs there. Next one is Kiefer Crosby, and I'm going to tell you right now, this is a great underdog. These odds are insane. This is definitely, I'm going to save it for the end on when I choose my underdog of the card, but Kiefer Crosby is definitely in my top 3. I'm going to say it right now. He is in that top 3. Number 1, number 2, or number 3 gotta be Kiefer Crosby, because his odds right now, the best you're going to get are plus 348. And money keeps on coming in on Sam Patterson, so you're getting better and better odds on Kiefer Crosby, who's got a lot of knockouts on his record, has crazy power in his hands, fighting a guy in Sam Patterson who has only lost by knockout. I think there is humongous value to be had on Kiefer Crosby. So I'm going to say it right now. I'll save it to the end, but Kiefer Crosby is 100% in my top 3 for underdog of the card. Manel Kape, Muhammad Mokaev. I'll say it right now. I think Manel Kape is a good underdog. I have him actually winning this fight. Like I said at the beginning of this video, plus 140 is going to be the best you'll get on him right now, which is actually some really good odds on Manel Kape right there. He would say he's in my top 5. I'll say that. He's like number 4 or number 5 best underdogs of the card. I think Manel at plus 140 is really solid, in my opinion, but no, he's not going to be my underdog of the card. But again, like I've said on a lot of these underdog of the card videos, if you have an underdog winning, don't bet anything else before you bet on that underdog, because it's literally value. That's the definition of value. You think Manel Kape wins, more than 50% of the time, you're supposed to bet on Manel Kape, because you're getting more than double your money. That is the definition of a valuable bet to make. So yes, I do feel Manel is a great Great underdog of the card, top 5 for sure. But he is not going to be my underdog of the card. Oban Elliott, Preston Parsons. If you watch the Confident Picks video, again, I feel very good on Preston Parsons. I feel like there's not really an area. Oban is going to be the better fighter here. I'm just going to be straight up with you. So now Oban Elliott, I mean, you're not even getting that good of odds on Oban Elliott. Plus 120 is just... there's really nothing there, and I still feel good about Preston Parsons going out there and getting the win. So no, unequivocally, Oban Elliott is not going to be my underdog of the card. Marcin Prachnio taking on Modestas Bukauskas. Again, this is actually an underdog I have winning on this UFC pay-per-view. The odds right now you're going to get, the best for Marcin Prachnio is at plus 136, which I would say, again, is really, really good value. Another one I would say is kind of tied with a guy like... where do you go? Like Manel Kape. I'm kind of in the same boat there where they're both very, very good underdogs. Plus 136 for Marcin Prachnio is a good bet to make. I'd say 100%. But he's like number 4, number 5 for my most confident picks of the card. So no, it's not in my top 3. Not my confident, or not my underdog of this card right there. Jake Hadley, another one. I'm feeling very, very good on Kalan Lofgren being better everywhere. Kind of like Preston Parsons. He's bigger. He's better in the striking, better in the grappling, better in the wrestling, bigger as well. I mean, Jake's a flyweight. So I'm just going to keep it frank with you. No, Jake Hadley is not going to be my underdog of the card. Nathaniel, no, I went too far. I went too far. Molly McCann and Bruna Brazil in the UFC's strawweight division. I'm going to say it right now. Bruna Brazil is going to be in that top 3. She is going to be alongside with Kiefer Crosby and my top 3 best underdogs of the card. And I might have messed up a little bit with Manel Kape and Marcin Prachnio. Manel and Marcin are going to be my number 5 and number 6 best underdog of the card, because I just remembered another fight up here is going to be that number 4 best underdog of the card. But Bruna Brazil is in my top 3 100%. Molly McCann and Bruna Brazil are similar size. They're both, they've had a little bit of a rough patch recently in the UFC strawweight division. I don't expect any wrestling and grappling. Most likely, I expect this to be a striking match, and I actually believe this is a 50-50 pick'em type of a striking match in the women's strawweight division. Bruna, if she lets her hands go, will win this fight. If Molly is not going out there pushing the pace, putting on pressure on Bruna, Bruna's going to win this fight. So I think there's a huge avenue for Bruna Brazil to go out there and win. So Bruna Brazil plus 290 is insane odds. Plus 290 for a close to 50-50 fight. In my opinion, again, that's gotta be, it has to be in my top 3 for underdog of the card alongside Kiefer Crosby. Then we got Nathaniel Wood, Daniel Pineda. Yes, I think Nathaniel Wood's odds are a little bit inflated there. Daniel Pineda's odds a little bit too big. I mean, they shouldn't be plus 340. That's kind of crazy. So I feel like you probably shouldn't be parlaying Nathaniel Wood. I'll be just straight up with you guys. That's crazy odds, especially against a guy this finishing ability as Daniel Pineda. You shouldn't be that confident in Nathaniel Wood to win anyways, fighting a guy like Pineda. So no, Pineda is not going to be my underdog of the card, but I wouldn't blame you if you bet Daniel Pineda, but I would blame you if you put Nathaniel Wood in a parlay. There's not much value to be made with Nathaniel, in my opinion. Giga Chikadze and Arnold Allen. This is another good dog. Another good dog. Is he in my top 3? Unfortunately, I'm going to say no. Unfortunately, I am going to say no to Izzy in my top 3. But he is going to be right outside that top 3. He's a very, very good dog. I think this is another one, just like Bruna Brazil, Molly McCann, where it's going to be on the feet for 3 rounds. It's going to be a striking fight, and it is going to be really, really close. Giga is very, very good when it does come to the striking. He's obviously coming from kickboxing, coming to MMA. Arnold has a little bit more power, but Giga's a lot more technical, so this could go either way. Another great dog. Is he my underdog of the card? No, he is not going to be. Gregory Rodriguez and Christian Leroy Duncan. This is my number 4. This is for sure. It has to be my number 4. Gregory is such a good dog. And I mean, if you're looking at the odds on this one, they're kind of crazy as well. I feel like this card has one of the most like underdogs that I feel are very, very valuable bets. I already looked at the card so far. Gregory's a good underdog. Giga Chikadze is a good underdog. Pineda is kind of borderline on good underdog. I just think you shouldn't parlay Nathaniel Wood. Bruno Brazil's a great underdog. Jake Hadley, no. Marcin's a good underdog. Oban, no. Manel Kopp's a good underdog. Kiefer Crosby's a good underdog. I mean, there's a lot of great underdogs on this UFC 304 pay-per-view, and I'm curious to see what you guys think. Put your comments down below. Who do you believe is actually the best underdog in this card? Because there is actually so many good underdogs, but Gregory I feel very, very good on. He is my prediction to win. It is a very, very close fight. He's coming in on short notice and things like that, but he's a good underdog. Oh my God, my grammar is not going good here. My vocabulary is not going good here, but is Gregory my number one? No, he's not. It's going to be a little bit higher in the next 2 or 3 fights. We got Paddy, we got Curtis, and we got Bilal. One of these 3 is my underdog of the card. I'm going to say it right now. Gregory's a good one. Giga's a good one. Bruno Brazil's a good one. Marcin's a good one. Manel and Kiefer are all great underdogs. But one of these next 3 has got to be number 1. It has to be number 1 on my underdog list. Paddy? No. Paddy's not. I'm going to say it right now. What is Paddy at right now? Barely an underdog. He's at the minus right now. You're not even getting good plus money on Paddy right now. I mean, maybe plus 100 on DraftKings. That's like the best you're going to get at the moment. But if you're looking at where he was maybe a week or 2 ago, a month ago, this dude was at plus 210. And he was riding around plus 170. You lost every bit of value on a potential Paddy Pimblett bet. So nope, Paddy's not going to be my dog of the card. And we got 2 more. 2 more. One of these title fights, Curtis Blades or Bilal Muhammad. One of these 2 men is going to be my underdog of the card. And that is going to be Curtis Blades, underdog of the card. This dude is so underestimated. He is so underestimated going in. I have Aspinall winning. I have him going out there and knocking out Curtis Blades in round number 2. Again, I see such a great path to victory from Curtis to make this a slow striking match, stay at range, and play with the kicks at range on Tom Aspinall. Land with the jab and keep moving. Head movement, head movement, head movement. And then, of course, when it is slow like that, Tom's going to get a little bit impatient, try to use his speed to get in the inside, and that is where Curtis could mix in the wrestling, of course. Why is Curtis Blades such a big underdog? I have zero clue. Zero clue whatsoever, but plus 310 on Curtis Blades. Oh my gosh, is insane. What were the odds on their first fight? Let me look at that first. Let's go Tom Aspinall, Curtis Blades on their first fight. Tom Aspinall, his odds against Curtis Blades, their first time around were minus 135. Minus 135. That's craziness. That is absolute craziness. They're almost putting Tom Aspinall's odds similar to Marcin Tybura. I mean, minus 400 against Curtis Blades and minus 500 against Tybura. That's really similar. When their first fight, Aspinall was barely the favorite to win. That was such a close fight. Everyone knew that was such a close fight, and I still believe that this is such a close fight, so it has to be my underdog of the week. 100%. Again, do I think Curtis will win? No. Do I think minus 400 is crazy? Of course. That is insane. Curtis Blades is my underdog of the card. And then again, Bilal, another one where you could actually get some good odds on Bilal, I would say. Plus 220, that's value. That's 100% value. He's definitely a good underdog as well. But is he as good as Curtis? Are any of these other guys as good as Curtis? No. Curtis Blades is number 1 on the underdog list. There's obviously so many. I think every fighter on the main card, don't bet on the favorite, probably. At the moment, don't bet on the favorite. Their odds are not good enough, in my opinion. But Curtis Blades is my underdog of the card. That's what I'm going to go with. Make sure to like and subscribe, do all that good stuff. Of course, comment your underdog down below. And check that pinned comment. If you want to actually see who I'm betting on, again, I am betting on a lot of underdogs on this card. Like, a lot. But I got some good prop bets. I got a good parlay as well. And it's for like barely above $1 for this entire card. Go check it out. Link in that pinned comment. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one, ladies and gentlemen.